We just passed the halfway point in our winter season, and so far the storm pattern has favored Utah, and skiers have been thrilled about it.
That's right. Several events lined up to increase the snowpack. Chief Meteorologist Sterling Poulson here tonight to tell us more about these events and give us a peek into what we might expect as we go forward.
Well, guys, after a record heat in early September, it was dry until our first storm in late October, and then one storm in November. But once December hit, the snowstorms ramped up big time. Even with the rain, Salt Lake City had over 22 inches of snow, and the mountains received a whopping 164 inches of snow, which rapidly increased the much-needed snowpack. January arrived with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. This produced very wet snow in the mountains and mostly rain in the valleys. At mid-mountain, Alta received 350 inches of snow in a 2-month period. 187 during the same period is considered normal. You could call it a bonus of 163 inches of snow with very high moisture content.
Yeah, the snow's been great this year.
It's been awesome snow, man. You can't go wrong with over 430 inches of snow.
The Climate Prediction Center forecasted generally dry and warm for November through January. So what happened? While the temperatures were above normal, the precipitation was also well above normal statewide. Several factors were at play. An active La Nina contributed to the storms along the west coast, and the northeast Pacific sea surface temperatures were cooler than normal. And there's another feature that may have contributed to the December storms. NASA scientist Weston Anderson explains.
So when we think about climate variability, the Madden-Julian oscillation tends to affect precipitation as it traverses the Earth, and it takes about 2 weeks to do that.
So it's all of these factors, including the Madden-Julian oscillation.
But it's the ways that they all interact. So it's not entirely due to a single event, but rather the interaction of these different forces.
Looking ahead toward spring, what can we expect? I asked Scott Handel, meteorologist with the Climate Prediction Center, where is that weather disruptor called the Madden-Julian oscillation now?
It's in the east central Indian Ocean right now, and it's actually forecast to propagate eastward to the maritime continent and West Pacific through mid-February.
With high pressure to our west, north winds are likely to keep our temperatures at or below normal.
At least for the month of February, we're expecting or we're favoring below normal temperature for pretty much almost the entire Intermountain West.
A weakening La Nina may slow down the storms moving into the western United States.
As we go further out in time, recent trends tend to favor a dry signal for a lot of the Southwest as we head into the more into the spring months.
The big catch here, as we heard, the MJO may return in March or April and create a few more atmospheric rivers. But the effect is not as great in the warmer spring weather, according to the Climate Prediction Center. The worst scenario would be a lack of spring storms and a rapid warm-up this spring. Now, it's great that we have an amazing snowpack, although we need to be on the lookout for flooding this spring. But Lake Powell is at its lowest level since being created. The Great Salt Lake is on the verge of an ecological meltdown, and the state is still in moderate to extreme long-term drought. So whatever weather pattern we end up with, we still need to conserve water.